First, we need to make some water for the demonstration. This is my SD501 Platinum Kangen Water machine, and I'm just going to turn the water on.
Kangen Water 9.5.
So you'll see that up here there's water coming out that is the 9.5 pH water that we're going to drink, but there's also water coming out down here. And this is the acidic water that we don't want to drink. Through electrolysis, it's taking a neutral tap water and splitting it into acid and alkaline. So I'm collecting the water that we will drink here and use for the demonstration, but I'm also going to collect some of this acidic water just so you can see that something has happened here. And I'm actually going to collect some tap water. I also just wanted to show you in a clear glass that the water that we drink is initially pretty cloudy, and that is molecular hydrogen, or H2. Molecular hydrogen has been shown to have a lot of health benefits, and what's happening is through this electrolysis there's something called dissociation of the water molecule. It's actually splitting the hydrogen and the oxygen apart on a lot of the water, and then the hydrogen combines with another hydrogen to make H2, and that's why it has that very cloudy look initially. And that will dissipate after a couple minutes. It'll look clear again. We're going to test something called oxidation reduction potential. This is an ORP meter, and it's just made by Hanna Instruments. It's something they would use in chemistry labs. And as we put it in each of these liquids, we'll be able to see what the oxidation reduction potential is measured in millivolts. If it's a positive number, it's oxidizing. If it's a negative number, it's an antioxidant. You can see here on the Sprite, it'll be a high positive number. I'm seeing about 393 and climbing. Gatorade will be very similar. Over 400. Dasani also will have a high positive number. I'm showing it's over 400. And we're looking for a negative symbol over on the left side of that but it's positive. Just want to see a minus sign. So smart water, it's dropping back down. It's going to get up into the upper 300s, but still a positive number. We should see a negative symbol right away if it's able to be an antioxidant. Tap water will be the same. It's typically in the high 300s here at my house. Let's see. But then look, as soon as we go into the Kangen water, it'll go to a very high negative number. Now, typically vitamin C can be measured at about a -50, so that's a good antioxidant. We want a negative number. Green tea can be -80 to -100. And the most antioxidant supplement we can take is cod liver oil at about -200. But look at this water right out of my tap through our Kangen water machine, -750 plus ORP. So I'm drinking about a gallon a day of this water, of the Kangen water. And to get the same oxidation reduction potential that I'm getting with my water every day, I would have to drink 3.5 gallons of cod liver oil. I mean, I'm not going to drink that much cod liver oil. It is just amazing. I don't think you can find any substance on earth that's got a higher antioxidant property than Kangen water. Okay, now we're going to test the pH of these different liquids using these pH indicator drops. This is just like if you were to test the pH in your hot tub or your swimming pool. You can test that with these kind of drops. And as you see on this chart over here, that orange and yellow, those are considered acidic. Green is neutral pH, like this tap water. Alkaline is blue or even nice purple, like the Kangen water. And you can see we split the green or neutral tap water into alkaline and acid. This was the water that came off the other side of the machine. But all these are acidic. This one has a little bit of a green tinge into it because, again, they've added back in some inorganic minerals for this water, for the smart water. So one way that I like to explain this that's really kind of cool is, let's say that this is the pH in your body right now, in your cells and tissues, that you're in a more acidic state. And we're gonna start flooding your body with Kangen water, and it can change the pH of your body. We can change and alter the pH state here. But look at what happens when I try this with Sprite. Nothing. Same with Gatorade. These are just too acidic. Because the pH scale is a logarithmic scale, these are about even as much as 50,000 times more acidic than neutral tap water. So now, look at this. We have got some diluted Sprite, but it only takes a little bit to destroy the alkalinity here. So we really need to avoid these highly acidic liquids that go into our body. Here's diluted Gatorade. It's half Kangen water, half Gatorade, mixed with straight Kangen water and just a little bit, and it's acid. So we need to avoid these. They are so bad for you. They really are. And honestly, when you get used to Kangen water for a while, these don't taste that good anymore. They're just way too sweet and syrupy, and you will feel so much better. So I hope it makes sense that the Kangen water, where it was that nice dark purple, that it's very alkaline, but it's done through an alkalizing process, through electrolysis, which is much better for you than a chemical process. So some of these alkaline waters you hear about that you can pay a lot of money for, they're adding a chemical to it to raise the pH of the water and make it alkaline, but it's not very bioavailable to your body like Kangen water is. Now I want to explain why Kangen water is able to get into the cells and tissues much easier in your body and flush out all the toxins and acids and really hydrate you at the cellular level better than tap water or bottled water or any other kind of water. And it has to do with the whole electrolysis is causing the water to have an electrical charge and repel itself from itself. So the water molecules are able to repel each other. Kind of like this picture here where we have, with electricity, it's causing your hair to stand on end and all the strands are not touching each other. They're all separated because they're repelling each other. We're doing the same thing with the water molecules. Typically, water molecules will group together in groups, and it's very, higher surface tension, and it's hard for that water to get into your cells and tissues and hydrate you very well. But our water can. One way we illustrate that is using a tea bag here. I'm going to put tap water in the first cup and in the third cup. And I'm going to put the Kangen water in the second cup and the fourth cup. And water that is repelling itself from itself and creating space between the molecules can much more easily penetrate your cells and tissues, just like we're going to kind of represent here with a tea bag. So you see, with just room temperature water, we don't really make tea, right? It's not really doing much here with tap water. But look at how when I go into the Kangen water, it instantly is making tea. There's a pretty significant difference there between those waters because this Kangen water can penetrate. It is basically wetter water, lower surface tension water. So just to be fair, because some people say, well, you just used a wet tea bag and that's why I did that. I'll do 5 dips in the tap water, and then I'll do the same 5 dips in the Kangen water. And you can see that that lower surface tension water that is repelling itself from itself is able to create tea, and it's going to be able to hydrate you better. So one way that you can really see this for yourself is when you drink our water, you don't get that sloshy, bloated feeling where the water is sloshing around in your stomach where you can even hear it. If you drink a whole bunch of tap water or bottled water, it's going to have that sloshiness going on in the stomach. But our water, it absorbs right away because it's repelling itself from itself and creating that space between the molecules. It can get into the cells and tissues much easier. And that's why athletes really, really love this water, because they can get hydrated better, deeper into the cells and tissues, getting more oxygen in there, more alkaline water that's going to be able to buffer lactic acid, for instance. And you're not going to have that sloshy feeling in your stomach, so you can guzzle a whole bunch of it, run out on the field, and perform your best. Now, there's another really cool thing about the Kangen water machine that I want to show you. When you hit the very bottom button on this machine, it says strong acidic water, and actually that water comes out down on the lower spigot here. And that's a 2.5 pH, and that water, if you were to smell it, if I had opened this up and you could smell it, it would actually smell like Clorox. It's hypochlorous acid. But the other water that comes off the regular top drinking water hose when you hit that button is an 11.5 pH water. And I keep both of these waters in these dark containers, keep them in the fridge because they'll last a long time and be effective for quite a while. But I want to show you this 11.5 strong alkaline water and why it is so special. And the way we're going to illustrate this is with some tomatoes. I just bought these at Walmart. They're just these cherub tomatoes. And it does say on the packaging, wash before eating. So I'm going to put about half in each of these. All right, we're going to use tap water to wash these tomatoes here. But I'm going to use this 11.5 water to wash these tomatoes. And they're both just clear water, but the Kangen water has some really cool aspects. Let me show you what's going on. While those sit just for a second, I'm going to use this sesame oil. We could use any kind of oil, but this is a nice dark oil, so it's easy to see. And I'm sure you remember from school what happens when you mix oil and water. So here's tap water and oil. And they don't mix, right? The oil is sticking to the sides, it's floating on the top. Oil and water don't mix, but look at this. This 11.5 water, in fact, I'll pour it in here first so you can see that it's just clear water. But this water and oil mix. 11.5 water can actually emulsify oil. So why is that beneficial? Why do we care about that? Well, it's basically a degreaser. You can get rid of any degreaser type product like that 409 stuff or any of these chemicals that are supposed to help clean and use this water instead, and it's going to be much healthier for you. So let's look at this. Here's the tap water tomatoes, and we'll pour out the water, and you see it's nice and clean water because guess what? Nothing came off those tomatoes. But with the Kangen water, the 11.5 water, you'll see that the water is very yellow. Kind of smells funny, smells like a Windex or something. And why did it do that? What is this? This is pesticide. The pesticides are in an oil base on purpose so that they won't rinse off when it rains out in the field. So on your tomatoes, strawberries, everything that you're going to eat the outside of, it's got this stuff on it. And you're eating that every time you eat that. And you can't rinse it off with water. So isn't this cool? You got a water that can emulsify oil, which means it can take the pesticides off the tomatoes or your strawberries or your lettuce or anything you're going to eat. And you can clean that produce and it's going to be healthier for you. It's going to taste a lot better. And it actually lasts longer too. Getting that oxidizing chemical off of the produce makes it last longer in your refrigerator. So a lot of people get really excited about the Kangen water that we drink because it's alkaline, it's got that low surface tension and can penetrate your cells and tissues, and it's got all that molecular hydrogen that's really good for you and beneficial for your body. And then it's also got the highest antioxidant property of anything that I've ever come across as well. So you're putting that in your body, it's good for you, but look, we're putting this in our body, we want to clean it and get all that pesticide off. And that's a huge benefit to this water that many people find just as exciting as the drinking water.